Evening all. So basically today we had to do a pretty drastic cleaning of the tank. Basically we had a snail infestation. I think I stopped counting around about the 80 mark that I pulled out today, ranging in size from 2 millimeters up to around about a quarter of an inch. They were literally everywhere, so everything had to be taken out, and the only thing that didn't come out was the gravel. Everything else did come out. So we've put it back together. We've changed it slightly. Effectively what we wanted to do was we wanted to give a bit more protection to the plants, and we also wanted to try and give our Self-Impact a little bit of a bigger run through the tank. So we've moved the main piece of wood down to this end, which is the end obviously opposite to the cave. So far he hasn't bothered going looking at this new area that he has to play in. He's stayed up here around the wood and isn't very happy with us, but I can understand that. We have been working in his home effectively for about 5 hours. As you can see, we have put some netting effectively around the plants. They're weighted down with lead. We've put cable ties around it to hold it in place, and hopefully that will give some protection to the plants that were getting damaged with our Self-Impact just charging around the tank. You can see there we've actually put some of the tie-pins around the actual wood in order to hold it in place, and at the back there as well the same is done. So that's the second one, and then there's the third one, a slightly larger one. We've left that particular plant there at the back. I can't remember the name of it now offhand. We've left that alone because basically he has ignored it, so we didn't bother putting any protection around that one. We've put netting draped down again with lead, holding it in place on top of the cave, and basically in there we've got a selection of around about 8 plants. They're remains of most of the plants that we had got in that we put into the tank originally, but that have been destroyed, and these are all that's left. We've put them up here in order to try and let them grow a bit. Once they've grown, they've got a bit of a root system, we'll take them out and we'll put them elsewhere in the tank with better protection. But at least up here, the Self-Impact, he appears to ignore what goes on up here. So hopefully they'll take and they'll be okay. So that's what we've been at today. You can see there's our small little plaque. A couple of endlers. We've got 6 neons in there. We've got 10 Pristilla or X-ray tetras. So what I'm planning on doing is next weekend I'm hoping to get another 6 of the neons. So we'll have 12 of them all told, and I'm also hoping that if I can find them, I'm hoping to get maybe another 8 of these endlers, provided we can find the same type again, so that we'll have a nice shoal of those. Nobody seems to mind them too much, and they seem to stick together more so than any of the other fish we have. So we're looking forward to seeing them in a nice shoal swimming around. So that's basically it. As you can see, we've got the in pipe there for a Tetra Tech. It's for 700. We've also got the Parahead for a for one of the dual 6 models. That's the Bioflow 6. So obviously that's hidden in there behind all of that. So we've actually got the filtration system for the Rio 240 that comes as standard with it, and then we've got the Tetra Tech 700 on top of it. I've got the little pipe there on top that is pumping the outflow from the Tetra Tech back into the tank. So that's basically where we're at. We used a new product today for the first time that we got. It's the Eheim Gravel Cleaner. Got it there I think it was on Wednesday, so today I got to play with it and try it out. Quite good. I was hoping suction would have been better on it. It's not as good as I had hoped. C'est la vie. Quite good at removing the waste on top of the gravel, just for a very quick clean. In terms of a more durable clean, it does have the extension that you can put onto it for cleaning into the gravel, and provided you go slowly with it, it will work. I would assume that if you have a slightly larger gravel than we have, as you can see, we've got very fine gravel. With a heavier gravel, with larger pieces of gravel, I've no doubt that the Eheim gravel cleaner would work brilliantly on it. Unfortunately, because our gravel is very similar to sand almost, it was being lifted up by the suction, so we had to go very slowly to do it in order to make sure that we didn't clog it up with the stones. And that's basically it. In the background there, obviously that's the background that we made ourselves. It's come out better than I had actually hoped. Unfortunately, you can see where we've put some of the some areas up here, and again up here and over here for plants to grow. Unfortunately, every time we've put plants into them, it didn't matter what type we put in, our friendly Southwind Black here was kind enough to rip them out for us. So unfortunately, I think we're going to have to leave them blank. There's not much we can really do about that. So that's basically it. Yeah. So it was a hard job getting the background correct. We made several attempts at it, but eventually we did manage to get it. Well, we think we got it right anyway. You can see that, I don't know whether it's clear or not, but there, for example, you can see that there's growth coming on, some greenish tint coming through on the actual background, which makes it look even more realistic. So which is obviously that's good news for me, because it's exactly what I was hoping it would look like in the end. And yeah. So anyway, thanks for having a quick look. I hope you found this interesting, or maybe not. I don't know. Either way, there we are. And sure, I'll leave you go. Have a good one. Take care.